Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Again, I want to repeat that I'm not a licensed professional. I'm not a licensed um, psychiatrist. I'm not a licensed counselor. We are just normal people talking about what caused us to be depressed and how we have overcome it ourselves. No, we're not trying to play doctor. We're not trying to do anything like that. We're just simply trying to tell our stories for someone in the same situation that doesn't want to see a counselor to hopefully find some clarity, and hopefully these videos can help them. So if you know somebody that is going through the same struggles, if somebody who is battling depression, please share this video with them. Maybe it can help them. Or if you know somebody who knows somebody, please share the video. So again, please like, subscribe, turn on your post notifications for when the next video comes out. But thank you for watching these videos, and I hope that Daisy's story has somehow influenced you to keep battling your depression and to overcome it. But again, thank you for tuning in, and I hope to see you guys at the next video. Thank you. Thank you guys for coming back to the channel. Today I am proudly occupied, blessed with the beauty of Miss Daisy Macias? Ruiz Macias. And to follow up on the channel, we were talking about depression and how we've overcome it. And everybody's depression is different. So I want to follow up with that and remind everybody that I am not a professional. I am not a professional therapist, a licensed therapist, a licensed counselor, or a professional counselor. In any terms, the critics want to be politically correct with it, because there will be people saying, why didn't we just go see an original, professional counselor? But we are not crazy people. We're just people in depression and in mourning. So, with that being said, I'm going to pass you to the floor. And ultimately, what caused your depression? You can look at me like that.
I think ultimately what caused my depression the most was losing my son.
And who was your son? What was your son's name? Let's start off with the basic.
His name was Briann. Middle name Alexander, so we called him Xander. Everybody knew him as Xander. And it was hard to know Xander. Xander was a playful kid, always happy, regardless of all his issues, and he had what is called a genesis of the corpus callosum. So, meaning he was missing the middle tissue of his brain.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't develop. So rather from his nerves going to the side that they're supposed to, they kind of just all collided because of that tissue missing. And so that brought trouble centrally from head to toe.
Mm-hmm.
So he had trouble eating, breathing, more than anything breathing. Pneumonia was a huge part of his illness. Constant pneumonia, all the time, summers, winters, all the time. But he was happy, like regardless of everything that he had going on, he was happy. He was always smiling, always trying to play, always scaring crap out of everybody. Whether it was pulling his trach or pulling his feeding tube or holding his breath, making the machine go off. He had us on our toes all the time. That was Xander.
So, ooh, I got choked up here. How long before, how long after everything that did he ultimately, go?
He was about to be 7. And he had trouble from day one. He seriously, the second night I had him, he started with seizures and stuff. So a good 7 years he lasted me, putting up with all his illnesses, and he fought hard. He fought, and one day he just
Stopped fighting.
was tired.
So after his passing, how long was it that you realized that, you were feeling some type of way? What feelings were overcoming with you?
Honestly, I felt it before he even went. I had this like heavy feeling all the time. I was always tired. I was always quiet in my own little world. Just I felt there was just that feeling that something's coming. That same night when it happened, I was in the shower and he was sleeping. And I remember feeling like I have to check on him. I have to check on him. I have to check on him. We didn't have a nurse that day for whatever reason. His machine stopped working. His pulse ox stopped working, so I didn't have that either. And I couldn't really go to bed. And when I went to check on him, he was blue. And very, very lethargic, very going. And I knew, I was hoping it wasn't that, but I knew he was going. And after he did, I think it took me a good 3 days of nonstop crying. And for some reason I went just kind of mute for a while. Not really wanting to do anything, not really wanting to talk about it or anything. I kept trying so hard to act like nothing, like it never happened. I tried to stay myself, and I realized something was wrong when people were asking me things about my son, and I was kind of just deviating the subject, like I don't want to talk about it, like I can't.
Yeah. So after his passing, what were you starting to do? What were your habits? Like I talked in my video about me, just sleeping all day and not wanting to do stuff, having no drive, stuff like that. What was the case for you?
For me, it was almost a complete opposite. I wasn't sleeping much. I was scared to fall asleep, only because I would sleep and hear him cough or hear his machine or hear something and wake up in a panic.
It's crazy how I would have the same thing. I would wake up and just hear my mom was coughing
And then you remember.
Yeah, or I would wake up in the middle of the night to call my mom because I know she'd be up late, watching TV, stuff like that, and I would call and I'd be dialing, and then her phone would be going off in my backpack. So yeah, there was certain traits afterwards, but I understand what you mean.
So showers were tough afterwards because I had that constant anxiety, I have to hurry because I have to go check on him. So I did the complete opposite. Instead of laying in a bed. It happened for a long time where I would cry myself to sleep, but I started drinking a lot. And it was the only way that I could kind of keep myself together. But it was drink, 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 and then cry and cry and cry nonstop. And and then I got myself just trying to stay busy all the time, just to be okay. I still catch myself now and then keeping myself busy to not think about it, to not fall over it. I especially around the time when it happened, that entire month, his birthday, holidays are tough. But more than anything, around the time that it happened is when I try to stay the busiest. So that month I try to fill up with 20 million things to keep my mind right.
And what is it that you've done to keep your mind right?
I actually started an off-road team maybe the March after my son passed. And right away I started our annual event,
Which is?
Xander's Backpacks. So with this event, my whole team comes together and collects backpacks for kids who without us wouldn't have them. Either the parents just aren't financially stable enough or they have no parents. We do it for the Child Crisis Center. One day for some reason, everything kind of happens for a reason. And for some reason, they reached out to my wife at work asking if there was anything we could do to help. And I jumped right on it. It happens every July, which is the month when my son passed. And that's what keeps me busy. So, yeah, I mean, we gather backpacks for kids who otherwise wouldn't have them. And more than anything, the reason that I did it that way, the reason why it's backpacks, why I do it every year, and why I will continue to do it is because Andrew was supposed to start school that August. And of course, with him passing, I still have his backpack. I haven't had the heart to give it out or donate it or nothing. It's still there. It's sitting there. My daughter uses it every now and then. Mom, can I use my brother's backpack? Yeah, sure. But since I didn't have the heart to give that one out, every year we collect as many backpacks as we can for the kids that need it most.
So ultimately, to wrap up the video, with you sharing Xander's story, for the people that are watching the video, what would be your last, testament towards somebody going through the exact same thing that you're going through?
It doesn't get easy. No matter how much time goes by or what comes in and out of your life, it doesn't get easy. But there's always a reason to stick around. For me, it was my daughter. Still is my daughter. And there's the loss of a parent, there's the loss of a sibling, but the loss of a kid is something that never gets easy.
Yeah.
But there has to be something that keeps you going, that keeps you wanting to be a better person for yourself, not so much for anybody else per se, but for yourself. There has to be something that keeps you going, that keeps you motivated. If you don't have it, make it.
Yeah.
For me, it's the event. And now that's where all my time goes. That's all my concentration. That's how I keep my son alive, is this event. Don't have it, make it. But there has to be something that keeps you going.
I want to thank you for sharing this story. and for anybody who is going through the same struggles as you're going through. And I'm at a loss for words, and I'm never at a loss for words. You okay?
Mm.